Ja Morant is the most athletic point guard of all time. Young players are often recognized for their statistics, but Ja Morant offers more. Morant's energy seems contagious, which is evident in how the Memphis Grizzlies played throughout the season. When asked who the most athletic guard is by the Bleacher Report's Taylor Rooks, Morant responded with the utmost confidence. Athleticism is a highlight of his game, and he uses it effectively on both ends of the floor. Morant picked himself first, saying, "Yeah, I'm number one though." With so many dunks, nasty assists, and filthy dribble moves, Ja is a walking highlight reel every night. Let's see some of the top plays by the Grizzly star. Ja brings out the joggles. He starts it off with a nifty behind-the-back pass to Durant for the three-point play, and follows it up by wowing Daniel House with his dribbling prowess before setting Durant up to put House on the poster. The Rockets game was kind of like Ja's introduction to the rest of the NBA, as it was a nationally televised game, and he showed up against the Rockets and James Harden. Ja slices through the Jazz defense. Ja decided to welcome Mike Conley back to FedEx Forum by putting on a show. Earlier in the game, Ja put Emmanuel Mudiay on skates with a nasty finger roll that started at the free throw line, a play that would be an honorable mention on this list. In the fourth quarter of that game, Ja flashed a little bit of potential all in one play. He grabs the rebound and shows off his insane handles as he dribbles around and past Joe Ingles and Tony Bradley before finishing it off by showing his hops with a big dunk. Block on Kyrie Irving. It took Ja just 3 games before making his first big-time highlight play. After starting the season 0-2, the Grizzlies were in a close game against Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. With the score tied and seconds remaining, Ja had the difficult task of trying to guard Kyrie Irving with the game on the line, and boy did Ja deliver. He played stellar defense, staying in front of Kyrie and using his length to swat Kyrie's game-winning attempt away. The play was huge, as the Grizzlies would go on to win in overtime, thanks to a Ja assist to Jay Crowder for the game-winning three-pointer. Ja put Baines on a poster. In a close game against the Phoenix Suns, Ja got matched up with Aaron Baines with less than a minute left in the game and a 4-point lead. He saw his opportunity to close the game out and took advantage. Ja took Baines off the dribble at the right wing, dribbling into the paint, and finished strong with his right hand while all his momentum was going left. The dunk is arguably the greatest dunk of this past NBA season and was the first highlight used on NBA's promotional commercials as the NBA made its return to the bubble in Orlando. It's going to be tough for Ja to top this dunk, but you can bet on him trying throughout his career. Game winner versus Charlotte. It took Ja just 11 games to get his first game winner, and boy was it sweet. In what was essentially a homecoming game for Ja and Charlotte, just a 2-hour drive from where Ja grew up, Morant put on a show in front of family and friends. With the game tied at 117 seconds left on the clock, Morant took Cody Martin to the basket and finished with an insane layup over Martin, Cody Zeller, and Miles Bridges with just 0.7 left on the clock. The tough finish led to Ja Morant's father running down the sideline pumping his fist as Ja flexed and yelled what was surely some explicitives to the crowd. Morant glides backward. Morant was coasting the first few possessions, barely crossing half court on some. But then, he gave the Cleveland crowd something to see. Trae Young was running point guard with Morant playing off the ball. Young threw an alley-oop to Morant, who was pacing his steps down the left wing before throwing down a two-handed backward dunk. Ja Morant had the sickest in-game dunk you'll ever see versus San Antonio. It's the date Memphis Grizzlies superstar Ja Morant nearly ended the career of San Antonio Spurs player Jacob Poeltl. Morant received a one-handed half-court pass from Steven Adams. He got the ball well in advance of the three-point line, took 2 dribbles, and took off from outside the paint to unleash a ferocious dunk over the 7'1" Austrian center. His athleticism was on display once again in a match against the Lakers when Ja Morant soared to block a transition layup attempt by Avery Bradley. Lakers star LeBron James called it a spectacular play, made possible by rockets in his calf muscles, and the Grizzlies' Jaren Jackson Jr. called it probably the best block I've seen. Social media was agog over various replay angles, all of which seemed more preposterous than the last. Morant's block was amazing on his face, combining the many elements of his game: speed, timing, powerful leaping ability, body control, and high basketball intelligence. The 6'3" Morant leaped off both feet and deflected Bradley's shot with both hands, and is drawn parallels with the legendary block of Michael Jordan against Ron Mercer in 2002. However, there was a half-foot gap between the two.